Hello guys, welcome back. So you'll probably be hearing about Inari a lot more. I hate to ask them to step up sometimes. Not because I think it's unfair, but gods are sometimes fickle creatures and the one that gave up something will suddenly want it back. But, it's pretty clear that Mammon decided, as he told me today, he has not filled a single goal he set for himself with me. He hasn't delivered on a single promise, and he's been here for months now. And today, in a well-meaning gesture, I gave him a dressed candle and I gave him some incense to kind of try to soothe him. And I said, "Look, I know you're trying to run through something that's impossible right now. Nobody is blaming you. This is how business works. I've been in businesses most of my life. It's hard for everyone right now." And some of the stuff he said about himself made me feel bad because I'm not a big YouTuber. So it was like rubbing salt in my own wounds. So I really didn't appreciate it. And then we came to an agreement that I don't think we work together very well at all. Mammon is fine working with you if he thinks he's making a success of himself and he's succeeding. But then when he finally looks around, because he can be so driven and looking ahead that he doesn't look at his list of accomplishments he set up before himself, when he saw just how many he didn't fulfill, and actually haven't fulfilled any of them, but we're pretty generous. It's like we understand it's 2020. It's fucking impossible. Unless I had already been a big YouTuber, he wasn't going to make me one. Unless I already had a lot of patrons, he wasn't going to get too many more in the door, so forth and such on. And he did not meet any of his goals. And to try to be nice, to try to soothe his feelings, to try to show him that, better times are coming, just hold on. Made him a candle, dressed him a candle, lit him some incense. He was so angry that we lit him a candle and gave him incense that he actually said that was it. He hadn't, basically he hadn't earned that and he was leaving. He threw it back in my face before I could even light it, which Loki warned me for. And Loki said, he doesn't feel he earned it. I said, but he has earned it. He has, watched over the budget and he has been generous when he feels he can be generous. But I don't think he trusts his own business sense at this point. So he left. And I looked at Asmodeus, and Asmodeus kept apologizing and saying, I have no idea what's wrong with him. He's going really goofy lately. And I said, well, I do not want Odin the second. I said, we just got rid of a loose cannon. And I said, I love Mammon, I really do, but Mammon felt he hadn't earned anything, so he left. And Inari was waiting in the wings, and Inari came in and looked at the candle and looked at the incense and said, he threw it back at you. And I'm like, yes. And I looked at Loki, and Loki's like, yeah. So I said, you can have it. So that's when we ended up making the rice. It's kind of a shame, but I think maybe Mammon likes to work with people that are more business driven than I am, perhaps. And I think it's just he's disgusted with himself because he didn't hit a single goal. I think the VR was a nail in the coffin, but it did not help that I gave him a gift that he felt he hadn't earned. He felt he hadn't done anything to earn that. He felt he wasn't worthy of it because all he had done was basically play accountant for us. And he didn't think that was, an important enough job to get a candle and get incense. Inari will happily take incense and candles. Yes, Inari's a commie. They like that sort of thing. You don't have to if you can't afford it, but if you can, it's a nice gesture. So, Inari took over, and Inari is a god connected with rice and fortune and theater and business and everything else. So Inari can cover all this. And really, I think it was a jealousy on Mammon's part towards Inari too, because Inara's actually really nice and gentle and sweet with me and really doesn't ask for anything. If I cook a rice dish or I cook tea or anything, if I cook it all because they are connected with cooking too, they're very happy. And so I think it was part that too, but I said no. Inari left willingly because someone before Mammon was pitching a fit. And I said, no, Inari's not leaving a second time. You have to learn to get along because Inari's part of this family, and I don't think Mammon liked that much. And I said, well, I've known them longer than you. So, I'm sure it was a little bit of jealousy and rivalry, but I also think it was that Inari seems to be able to pick their little foxy way through any situation and still deliver good luck and fortune and everything to you. Where Mammon takes that Western business approach, which is just to smash through everything, and that doesn't always work. Inari has a little more skill and delicate foxy finesse. You know, think of Loki if Loki could pay attention long enough to get into business. And I heard, hey! Loki knows what I mean. Loki loves his people. He usually works pretty well. But I wouldn't sit him down with a spreadsheet anytime soon. I go, hey! You got a point. You know, he's not going to do your taxes for you anytime soon, where Inari would be like clapping, but, you know, don't let Inari do your taxes either, having Mortal do them. But, I'm getting this over there. So, you know, it feels better already. Mammon was starting to look for a fight, and I know Mammon wanted me to attack them and to blame them for everything. Like I said before, am I frustrated everything they promised didn't come through? Sure I am. You know, it's like your parents telling you you're going to Disneyland and they like take you to Vegetable World or something. But I'm getting laughter and clapping back here. I think it's Loki. So he's giggling. We're tired. We're fucking tired. I didn't sleep well last night because Mammon was picking fights last night. I really didn't get to rest today because I would go into rest and Mammon would show up, pick another fight, so Inari kicked them out. And nobody crosses Inari Okami. Nobody crosses Inari. They will take that fire whip to your rice fields is what they'll do. And, you know, they're a very good protector and patron, and they've been looking at me very cute. So you might end up seeing like a little chibi Inari fox behind me at some point. You already see the mask. It's actually Loki's mask, and Inari doesn't mind. They share a lot of stuff, and Inari's altar is actually upstairs. Though they have decided they're in love with this little white fox over here that I brought down the plushie. You saw it on camera the other day. So they got that. They're both foxes, so they don't care. They'll share all the foxes. They actually love each other and usually get along quite well. They used to have a little bit of rivalry going on. But you'll notice as you have other gods come and go, like some that used to fight will actually kind of team up and decide they have more in common. So they're getting along quite well. So for me, Inari and Loki were quite great. For me, Mammon and Loki would just be standing there. And if you know Loki, you could know he was thinking he was not happy. Let's put it that way. He was not happy. I'm going, back here. He really didn't care for Mammon, but if Mammon could produce, that's all Loki cared about. Not like everybody has to do something wonderful or they get kicked out, but he was putting up with Mammon's attitude for my sake. Mammon just turned nasty, and sometimes demons do. As Modius advised me, he said, you know, we can take anything but failure. Yeah, I said, I know. I said, I cry angry tears when I fell. And you guys know, you've seen me cry angry tears on camera because I failed. And I can't stand to fail. You know I can't. And he said, I don't see why you're not so upset this time. I said, because I knew I would fail. I just wanted for my peace of mind to ask them, is there anything you could do? I knew the answer would be no. I'm not fucking psychic, but it was out of warranty. I said I knew the answer would be no, but just for my peace of mind before I packed it up in its box and packed the controllers away, which I did today. Mammon flipped to shit. I said I just wanted to check. And like I said, I'll give it a week and I'll uninstall the Oculus from my computer. I don't know if I'll unplug this stuff. It's been plugged into this computer for over 2 years. I know it sounds crazy, but you know how sometimes with Windows, if something's been plugged in for a couple years and you unplug it and all of a sudden everything goes straight to hell? I'm afraid to unplug the sensors, but they're really not doing anything right now, so, you know, I think they're fine. But, you know, sometimes it doesn't work out. Mammon may eventually wander back in, but they're really not welcome. I said I do not want another Odin-type personality. I understand he doesn't like failing, especially failing he's been here since before December, remember, and he really hasn't produced much. He did a lot of stuff like saving us money and stuff like that and keeping us on budget, but to him that wasn't enough. I could have got a basic accounting app right from my own bank and they could have said, hey, here's what your spending limit is, you're coming near to it, so, you know, they don't feel like they produced enough, so Mammon left, and I'm going to respect that. So we'll take his stuff down. We're not going to throw it away. We're not going to get rid of it yet. We'll take his stuff down. If he doesn't come back in a week or so, and like I said, I really don't feel like working with him anymore, um, we'll just, you can take. I use magic marker because if somebody decides to blow a gasket, and that kind of happens with God sometimes, you can take this stuff off with one of those cello sponges, and you can put something else on it. But it is what it is. It's some demons, once they hit a certain failure rate, they give up. It's why he can't get video games. He can't get playing something for 8 hours before you decide that you're no good at it. He would try for 5 minutes. He wouldn't even try one, but he would try for 5 minutes and not succeed, I think, and give up. He doesn't seem to understand why we will keep playing stuff and playing stuff and playing stuff till we get good at it. I know there's some types of games I'm not good at, but I'm willing to sit there until I prove it to myself. And that if that takes an hour to 2 hours or 3 or 4, that's what it takes until I can prove to myself, yeah, I really can't play this game. I'm no good at it. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe. It was kind of like we were going to hold off on the video till tomorrow, but I said, it's not fair to people either, because I promise you guys, I will give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. When stuff works out, I tell you, Mammon worked out for a big part of the time. When it doesn't work out, I will tell you that too, because I don't want you to feel, if you feel with somebody, and it's really not feeling, you just don't work out, that it's something wrong with you. A lot of relationships with gods and demons and spirits and whatnot come to an end because you're just not suitable to each other. You have different goals. He definitely seems more business-minded than I do. I don't like to take things seriously. It's like when I do photography, don't fucking talk to me about anything technical. I can't. My brain just goes, psh. I just know what looks pretty, and that's what I use. So I can't fucking tell you the first thing about photography. It's like, just so it looks nice and it's what I want to say with the photo, that's all I care about. So, if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.